CAVA presents Mary Longe discussing from studio to auction how to navigate your art career.
You can see that we're talking about navigating your art from easel to auction. What made you think about coming to this session? What are some of the concerns or things that you're thinking about? Anyone?
Time.
Time?
Yeah.
I've been an artist forever, and I've been showing everywhere from Paris to New York to Chicago and California. But things are changing, and I saw a lot of work. Things are at CAVA, and try to see what I can do to improve things.
Okay.
To go back to sell again a lot of work.
Okay, good. All right.
To learn about what the system is.
Okay. To learn the system, good. And all these things that are changing.
Yeah.
Any other kinds of things that you're thinking about? Yes?
What would be the best way to find a place to sell your art?
Okay, how to find places to sell your art.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are some other things? What else made you come? Yes?
We were active in an art scene in California many years ago. Then we both got different jobs. Being artists, we had to make a living. And now we're retired and we've come back to doing art. And we've also moved to Chicago. So we don't know about the Chicago scene or know many people in the arts at all. So here we are. Can't wait to hear more.
All right, good. Maybe anything else? What other kinds of things? How many of you, this is your first time here to be with the group? Okay, and maybe within the last year you've joined? So
The group? Which group?
this CAVA?
CAVA.
Oh, CAVA. I've been
Yeah.
with CAVA for a while.
Okay, good. But it seems like I've heard a couple people say that they haven't known, so maybe it'd be a nice idea. Do you all, when you look around, do you know everybody here?
No.
No, let's just do a quick go around and start with you, Kathy, just your name.
I'm Kathy.
I've been painting for about 10 years. Did the fundamentals program out of the palette and chisel when there was such a thing, which is an 18-month program. That was after I'd painted for a while and realized I didn't know anything about painting, and then finally decided I need to really learn the basics and the fundamentals. And then as we went on, I ended up realizing how much I loved plein air, because what I wanted to do was be outside and paint, and then started doing that. But my background has been business, and so I ended up becoming the executive director of the Plein Air Painters of Chicago, and did that for 5 years, got it off the ground, and became a membership organization and things like that. So that was for 5 years, and before all that, I had worked in healthcare. And I had worked with the American Hospital Association for 20 years, doing work in terms of marketing and some really working with different kinds of organizations and starting up products and projects. So, and before that had worked at the Michigan State University, and I also had a business for 17 years where I designed specialty libraries for hospitals. So that was also something, everything that I've done almost has been startup kinds of things. And I always am thinking, I've had 5 books published, and many of those were on innovations. And that's how I think about art. It's always an innovation, and that's what we're working for. And so it gets me excited to think about that and how it all comes together from a business standpoint, from really thinking about the idea to whatever happens from that point. So as I was working with the Plein Air Painters Chicago, there was a day that I was doing, my 3rd hour of emails, and I thought, this is not my life anymore. I need something else. And I think somewhere in that moment, I was scrolling and saw this ad for Sotheby's Institute of Art in London, and they have an art business program. And actually, they have a master's degree, and they also had a certificate program. And I thought, well, I don't need a year of my life when I think of my life as probably having some end to it in a future that I have already lived. That I thought I can do the certificate, which was a 4-month program. And the program was terrific because it was 2 days a week, full days, of art history, and the other 2 days of art business. And Jen Turner, right here, she and I were sitting next to each other, I think day 1. And that's how I met Jen, but also she's gonna help me today if I get stuck on things. Because a lot of this is from that. So what I want to tell you in all this is I am not an expert. I'm going to tell you, I'm bringing back this information that really excited me about what happens with your art and how you kind of maneuver, navigate through the art world. And there's so much that I didn't know, and I thought, well, I'd like to bring this back and think about it from the artist's perspective, because they're thinking about it from the collector's perspective more than anything. The other thing is that for the Plein Air Painter Chicago, one of the things I realized is that I felt like people were always trying to figure out, how do I sell paintings? You know, and they're always looking. Okay. So just before I was leaving home, it was today at noon, because I needed to be downtown, and